now we're in the middle of our floor. We've finished our first run. Now we have a decision to make. I could just swing around here and start back my next path, right back down this way, or I could jump back up to the front of the room. So we're going to do it a couple different ways. First, I'm going to start here, just swing it around, and then on the final path, one, because we'll be working out our doorway, I'll finish this out, then jump back up here to work out the door. So same thing here, and the crucial piece here is how do I work back against my edge? Obviously on this side of the room, it's a little easier because the finish is still wet, but I'll want to be careful with that as I go down the other side of the room, or get to the other side of the room, because the finish may be setting up a little bit on me there. But I've always found it's real easy if you just pay a little bit of attention to, again, drawing your cut-in pad down that same board seam. Again, I can overlap a couple hairs, right? I don't want to go way over on it, especially if it's setting up. Then you can tend to smear it a little bit. But as long as I see that it's wetting out, I'm getting back on that board seam and pulling my finish down there with the grain, I should not have any issues with this. And then same thing on this side. I want to set myself up for my next run that's going to be back down the floor here. So just pulling along a board seam to set myself up to roll the middle. Then when I come back to roll the middle, again, overlapping where I've cut in almost all the way to that edge, but trying to stay off either onto the open floor over here or back onto where I had actually cut in over on this side. And it might be easier if you place a blue mark on your baseboard here so that you know what line you're going back down. Just place a little tape mark on there as your little marker, and that'll help you keep a line on what you're doing. The other thing too is as we're going down here and I'm trying to come back right, on that board seam or just overlap it just a little bit, don't get too worried, especially if, one, this isn't your last coat. But even if it is, hopefully what we've done is kept the floor so clean that we haven't abraded. So let's say we're using extra mat right here. So anywhere where I don't get quite over all the way, and if I've got a little bit of the coat underneath shining through, it's the same sheen, so you're not going to see it. Another thing that you could do there though is, as I put the tape marks on the floor, come back and check out your overlap seam, where you worked before. And if there is one that you just happen to not do a good job of coming back into it, so you can see a lot of open areas, or say that you did abrade between coats, don't worry about it. Just move over one more board either way from your last coat, and that'll make sure that you cover up, that previous edge with your next coat that you're doing here. So again, as I get back now, I'm closer to this line where we started. It's starting to set up a little bit. So again, as long as I'm drawing my applicator, again, down that line, I can even do a little bit of, fine feathering up there. Just don't leave a heavy mark, a puddle of finish over on that other side. Should be okay. And we can look back across our work, make sure we got everything. If we need to, again, we can even take our roller, go back across those headboards this way. and it's not going to matter. But now instead of just swinging it around here, so we've put our little false doorway over here. Now I wouldn't have a choice, but I've got to swing back up there, go to the opposite end now, work my way out so I can get out the door.